The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
You can script and diagram plays all you want, but no one really envisioned something like that happening this early in the game. How about that run to get things started? Didn't he win NFC Player of the Week last week?
Yeah, he was on fire a week ago, and what a start to this one.
Yeah, no sign of him cooling down at all.
22!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On second down, Ryan. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go. 21.
Coleman now. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Cousins now on second down. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go. Four down. The hug. 180. Check 45 to the bite. Check 45 to the bite. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Lucky 50. Kill. Turn up.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Second down, Cousins. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On play action, Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And some space here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That good for 19 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
39.
Coleman. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
4 down, 4 down. Mike, 25 tonight. Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Now it's Ryan. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. This is Coleman. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throw left side complete. It's Riley. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Ryan now to throw on third down. And it's complete. Hooper. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Hey, let's go.
They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. It is caught at the 7-yard line. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Here's Coleman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. And his kick is right through. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. Going deep for Diggs. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Lucky 50. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
On third down, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Gun! Get up! Under 10! 10! Space! Hey, let's go!
Play action, Ryan. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So now, following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Hey, 81 right there. He's sleeping. Check that guy. Switch up.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. On second down, here's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. This is caught. I'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a third and goal.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
It's Coleman here, and he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Let's 50. Shit. 45's the mic. 45. Gun. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jeremy Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6, and the Falcons will extend their lead.
That's 6, baby. You got it all
That was a
there.
special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
And now out comes Minnesota. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Rhino, Rhino! Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Tight gun.
1st down. Here's Cousins. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. Here's Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Ryan. It's complete to Brown, right side. And I think the ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Drops it off for Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And off comes to Chubb. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Cousins now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
I got 8. Two. Single. Shift. Where's the hot?
Again, it's Cousins. And now another one thrown incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st.
Back 25. Hey, gun.
Now Ryan. He's going to air one out. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Huge article in their local paper this morning saying how the 4 interceptions last week led them to that victory. Here they haven't been able to come up with one, and they're losing. Probably not a coincidence.
I don't think so at all. I think you're spot on, but maybe
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with the game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
They go play action. Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, Cousins. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. 8 yards there and a 1st down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
A give. This is Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Cousins now on 2nd down. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he'd just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Play fake, Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Carlson able to put this one through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This one fielded at the 5. And there he goes again. 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. In for the score. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
Again, helping partner, I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 30. 42-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. On 1st and 10, Cousins got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. A run for Nick Chubb. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. Cousins now from the 50. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Wide. Watch out.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now it's Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. Pushing him away.
Popped it right out there.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 39 that time.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Yellow, ready, sit here, yellow.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Desmond Trufant. Oh, and now he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking.
And oh, it's blocked.
We got it. Good job, D. Good job, D.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now out comes Minnesota. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah.
Black.
Back to it after the pick 6. Cousins. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Justin Houston in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Rose. You got 4. You got 4.
Cousins. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Or has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Strong right. Three down.
On second down, here's Ryan. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
3 down.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He's going to launch this thing. Wait. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Yellow. Ready, in there. Yellow.
Following the interception, Cousins. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. And now Cousins choosing to back away from the line and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
4 down.
Hey, steamer.
4 down.
We're going. Let's go.
45 to Mike.
Wait, hold on.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Throwing, Cousins. Buying time to his left. He's going to let it fly. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Gone.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And he's going to go down. and they sack him back right around the 30. Justin Houston, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now a second down throw for Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Ryan wants to throw it. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Hey, let's go.
Ryan now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue 80. Watch it,
From the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to let this one go deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free. And it's incomplete. Clock now showing 0:05. That's all we have left here in the 4th. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Gun!
Hey, come on, oh!
Liz, 50, here we go!
Whip! Watch the whip!
One last shot now for Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Play. Through.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, You just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the foul.